stage senior writer, TV Guide, magazine, Damian Holbrook!
Hey everybody, how'd you like it? How much fun was that movie? Alright, so you are a very select group of people who got to see this before anyone else. This is a very long-awaited sequel, and you were actually the first live audience to see it. Kudos to you for getting up early on a Sunday, weathering this weather, and getting in line early. So the film arrives on digital HD this coming Tuesday, October 10th, and then on Blu-ray combo pack and DVD on October 17th. So keep that in your back pocket, all right? All right, so I saw this a couple days ago, and it absolutely killed me because I grew up watching the original Batman. So when you guys heard the voices of some of our classic characters, did you lose your minds? Yeah! I know, all right, so we're gonna bring out some people to talk. What's that?
Who was Harley Quinn? Was it Tara Strong?
I don't know. We can find out. Let's bring out some people who can answer that. Please welcome to the stage our esteemed panelists, starting with the filmmaking team behind both Batman, Return of the Caped Crusaders, and Batman vs. Two-Face, supervising producer of the DC Universe original movies and supervising producer, and co-screenwriter of Batman vs. Two-Face, James Tucker. Teen Titans Go, producer and co-screenwriter Michael Jelinek. Alright, known for the popular Lego titles like Justice League Cosmic Clash and the Attack of the Legion of Doom, director Rick Morales. Stars the film and everyone's favorite Robin. Burt Ward! Alright. And the captain himself and the voice of Two-Face, the one and only William Shatner! Like what you guys did. You want to go around?
They just saw the film.
They just saw the film.
Did you like it? No, seriously. Did you like it?
Yeah, you can't think that. Alright, so James and Michael, you guys set the tone for this homage to the original series with the Caped Crusaders. What were some of the ways that you took that and kind of ran with it for this one?
Well, I think if you watch if you watch both of them, the first one I think is a little bit truer to what Burt and Adam did in the original series. So I think this one, we were trying to push it into darker territory. I think James was calling it
Camp Noir.
Yeah, Camp Noir. So it's like this really campy stuff. So there's a lot of sort of ridiculous moments with this really sort of serious atmosphere and music, and it sort of shouldn't work together, but it does. So I think that was our direction of this.
And so I'm thinking about, because there were so many, the crowd is full of people who grew up on the original, and there were these incredible giant set pieces that like no one would actually have, and I'm thinking in this one we have the giant pool table sequence, which also features one of the nastiest lines I've ever seen in an animated film. That was, you know...
I guarantee you that was James's line, by the way.
I would like to give you an extra hug for that one. But is there...
What's the line?
You guys want to say it?
What's the line?
Maybe Burt should say the line since he said
You say the line. The actors are totally confused. What line is that?
Say it, James. I don't want to say it in public.
What humongous balls. You don't remember that classic line?
No, I don't remember that one.
Bert,
Yes, sir.
we heard him say it.
That's right.
You said it.
It's Robin.
And Robin.
Okay. What humongous balls!
So how would Two-Face say it? How would Two-Face say it?
What humongous balls! How would the narrator say it?
Very differently.
How would the audience say it? Wow.
Just a typical New York Comic-Con panel.
And this took humongous balls to pull that off.
It sounds like a bowling team.
You want to start one?
So with that, is there anything you can't do with, can't go with, you know, these movies? Is there any place you can't go?
What kind of a question is that?
If they can get away with lines like that and playing with the camp, like,
Is there no place you can't
right,
go?
exactly. Can you guys really just let?
Well, it's you know, the original show was tongue in cheek and was full of double entendres, and that was the spirit of the show. I mean, it gets naughtier as you get older, and you watch it and you're like, oh wow, they got away with that. So I think that line is perfectly in keeping with the spirit of the show.
And I think the line works because, like, Bert delivers it in such a way that
Earnest.
you feel like the dirty person interpreting that. I mean, clearly he did not mean it the way you thought it was supposed to. And that's really the comic genius of Bert and Adam. It's like they were given so many sort of ridiculous, over-the-top lines, and they delivered it with such, straight faces. I mean, they really were ahead of the game comedically, I think, back then.
And you guys definitely had some fun playing with Dick's jealousy of Bruce and Harvey being such good friends.
Yeah, well, the thing about this movie is we wanted to explore some territory that never really came out in the show. I mean, we didn't know who their friends were. We didn't know that Bruce had any other people in his life besides, Dick, Alfred, and Harriet, and the commissioner. So this was a chance to give Adam and Bert something a little more meaty to play than what they usually got to do in the regular series.
We had a question from the audience before the panel even started. Who did the voice of Harley?
For this, it was Serena Irwin. I don't know if you know her, she's a brilliant actress. Anyway, yeah, she did a great job.
Okay, so for the producers and the behind the scenes, but you were all behind the scenes actually, such a nice touch at the end. We saw the coda. Talk about working with Adam West. This is his last project.
Yeah, well, it's still sinking in with me, but it was just a full circle moment for me. I mean, the only reason I'm up here now is because of that show, because of the great work he and Bert did bringing those characters to life, and that's the reason I'm a Batman fan. So, it was just an amazing experience. He was an amazing person, and I hope he's somewhere very proud of this movie.
Yeah. Like Shane said, just a dream come true. To be able to be in the vicinity of a project with these guys here was just amazing, and getting to see them work. I mean, as a kid, that's what got me into Batman, was the Adam West show, and it was just a great pleasure.
Deadly silence.
Yeah.
I know, if you told me as a child that I would be on a panel with William Shatner and Burt Ward talking about humongous balls, I couldn't believe it. No, it really is just a treat. But with Adam, we got to be on the panel with Adam last year, and his energy and enthusiasm, and is just a constant entertainer. It was great. So it's just a thrill.
So a couple years ago, we were on this stage for the DVD release of the complete series. And Adam was up here telling stories of working on the show and just being so devoted to this character and this entire world. Bert, you worked with him for over 50 years. Talk about his absolute devotion to this.
Well, you know, a lot of people ask me, what is Adam like off the show, you know, as opposed to the very rich, stoic, bigger than life he kind of thought of himself like Winston Churchill. Or, in fact, I think Adam one time said to me that he really understood what it was like to play Batman after watching Charlton Heston play Moses and part the Red Sea. So Adam was exactly the same off the stage as he was on the stage. And we were best friends. We met in July of 1965 when I had an opportunity to try out for a show that I didn't even know what it was going to be. And I sat down and talked with him before the screen test, and in 5 minutes, the two of us were laughing, and we never stopped laughing. And you know, Adam was a really wonderful guy. He would not want you to be unhappy. He'd want you to be happy. He spent his whole life entertaining people. We were very, very close friends. Our families were close. Even on the weekends during Batman, we'd go out and play tennis together, and people would say, "Oh my God, it's Batman and Robin playing tennis!"
What enormous balls you must have had.
Oh, you read my book. So, but we had a great time, and I got to tell you, I am so thrilled that William Shatner is in this movie. He is so great. I'm his biggest fan. He is so great. Did you love him or what?
Bill, you know, before you took this on,
Yes.
I hear that you talked to Warner Brothers about the project and you know, had some, you know, ideas or wanted to know where this role was going. What was your take on playing Two-Face?
Well, they asked me to play, what would I do with it, and I saw the opportunity to try and make the voices indigenous so that there was no cut between the growth of the evil Two-Face and Harvey Dent. I tried to make the voices meld so one was coming out of the other. And in the most extreme case, we were in a studio and they played. You know, actors are, I'm sure you've heard this many times before, when they do an animated film, whether it's a cartoon or, in this case, a full-length feature, you're in a studio by yourself, microphone, script, and the director, writer, producers, who in their head, mostly, is the film because you're recording the voice, but you, the actor, don't know what you're surrounded by, how far you are from the other person, what the set is like, what the drawings are like. You're totally in a vacuum, and the only person between you and nothingness is the producer, writer, director. So I was trying to make the voice of Two-Face come out of Harvey Dent, and they showed me on a television set. They played for me what the animator had done with the growth of the algae coming out of his face. And right then and there, I started to do the voice that came in and out as the animator had put the green stuff and expanded and then it would retract. I began to do that with the voice. And in a totally spontaneous way, the character emerged. And we all had a great time doing that.
All right. And so you don't get to work off of each other, but what is the fun of taking on a role like this where you don't have to like show up for hair and makeup and, you know, early calls and all that stuff?
Money. It's, in my case, in this case here, it was a challenge and an enjoyable thing. And it's great fun to try and do the voice. It's a lot like radio, that you color it with the vocal tones. It's a challenge, and it can be great fun.
Well, for me, you know, people keep asking me like, well, what did you have to do to prepare? Well, you need to understand, when I was cast as Robin, the executive producer, William Dozier, came to me and he said, we interviewed 1,100 young actors for this role. And the reason we picked you, Bert, was because forgetting television, if there really was a Robin, we think that you would be it. So we don't want you to, quote, act. We just want you to be yourself and be enthusiastic, which is what I did for all 120 episodes in the Batman movies. So for me, it's not really recreating, it's just be myself, so it's very easy to do.
And now, you both had such iconic roles. In fact, you know, the things that you started with are kind of like the building blocks of Comic-Con. How protective are you of your classic roles?
Well, in my case, when Adam and I were in costume, we never broke character. Even at appearances, they'd say, oh, well, take off your mask or that. No, we would never do it. We always protected the
Have you got your mask on now?
No, I have it in my utility belt to the backstage.
He's wearing the underwear.
But we never, we always kept in character. We always kept in characters. We wanted to preserve it for kids. And you know, our show was on many different levels, as they talked to you about. We used to say that we put on our tights to put on the world. In fact, we're the superheroes that wore our underwear on the outside of our clothes.
You winked at me. You gave me the wink.
He still got it.
He's got it. I don't know where he's got it, but he's got it.
It's in his utility belt. What about you? Do you still feel very protective of?
No, not at all.
No. Just had it.
Everybody's playing Captain Kirk these days. Yeah.
Scene from the film?
I'm sorry?
Do you guys have a favorite scene from this film?
Scene from this film? Have you?
I liked what they used in the trailer was that confrontation with Two-Face and Robin, where I'm tied up and he exposes me to that, you know, green goo.
I exposed myself?
Yeah. Well, but that's not the first time, but I mean, it's the first time.
I serially exposed myself? Make a good series. Watch him expose himself.
TV in the 60s was weird.
That's my favorite scene too.
We're going to go to some audience questions, so if you guys want to line up, you guys ask some questions. We might have some goodies for the good questions. I don't know where they're running to. Oh, they're there. So we'll bounce back and forth. Go ahead.
Hi, how you guys doing? I'm Justin from the Bronx. Just before I get to my question, I want to say, Burt Ward, it's always a pleasure seeing you play Robin. It's amazing. As to William, you were just amazing as Two-Face. Like, my gosh, just amazing.
Justin from the Bronx, that's pretty. That's pretty.
Got the Bronx.
I know. I just got the. That's the ultimate compliment. Thank you so much.
Now,
Justin.
No, thank you, sir. Thank you.
No. Thank you, Justin.
My question goes to the creative team. You know, we didn't have Two-Face in the original 1960s, and it was a great adaptation. So I was just curious if another movie was to happen, who would you bring into the 1960s version?
Well, we were, the first draft of the script had Poison Ivy in it, so it would have, but we, you know, it was too much. This is much better. So, but she was the next one in line. So. You can.
Say it. Why wouldn't you be able to say it?
We're at Comic-Con. Of course there's sequels. Hey.
I'm Skylar Chang from the Bronx.
Bronx is open up today.
My question is for William Shatner. William,
Do you know Justin from the Bronx? You don't. But you're both from the Bronx, don't you know each other? Go ahead, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt
Did
you.
you like being a bad guy?
I love bad guys. I love bad guys with a passion. No, you mean, do I like to play a bad guy? Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
There's no difference. A bad guy is a good guy, and a good guy is a bad guy. They're all lurking inside your head. And you may, at this point in time, be Justin from the Bronx, a good girl. But who knows if you come from Brooklyn? You may be bad. So it's all the same. Good is good and bad is bad, and they're all linked together mysteriously. Does that answer your question?
All right. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Michael from Tallahassee, Florida. I have a question for Bert, and then I have a question for like the production team. For Bert, what was it like switching from doing like the character live action to doing it, voicing it with animation? And which one did you prefer? And then for the creative team, in the scene where they confront Harvey Dent, he talks on the phone to someone and says like, "You can't make me do this." Was that just him talking to himself, or was he talking to someone else?
Okay, well, to answer your first question, for me, if you're in character, as I am when I do it, it really doesn't matter to me whether it's live action or animation. I prefer the live action because I get to fight more, and I love to do that. And and I miss the series. I don't miss the costume, though. I know that was a horrendous costume, but we had a lot of fun on Batman, and I mean, who wouldn't want to ride in the Batmobile with Batman and golly gee willikers.
Yeah, he was nuts. He was talking to himself.
Thank you. Thanks. Go ahead. Oh, we got a Two-Face.
Hi, I'm Jonah from Suffern, New York, and I was just wondering, for Bert and William, what was it like to walk back into the iconic old Robin, and what was it like to take on the mantle of Two-Face?
Well, for me, I go out and I appear at many of these Comic Cons and sign autographs and things like that, and so it really, for me, it really never left. It's there, you know. It's not hard to, I mean, in my character, it was very intense and very similar in the way that I presented stuff, so it was very easy for me to do it, and it still is.
And for me, I was of two minds. I couldn't make up my mind. No, I wondered all the time, and now most recently with this madman in Las Vegas, what lurks inside our heads? You appear to be normal. You say hello and good morning, have a cup of coffee, and pet the dog. But then you go out and mass murder. What's going on inside the evil head? What is the voice inside, or the voices inside saying kill, kill, kill? That's human beings. The reptilian brain of the superego. So what is that? That mystery intrigues me a lot, and here in Two-Face, it's exemplified in the voice. I was intrigued by that.
Okay, and since you are dressed as Two-Face, you can go right over here.
Who's dressed as
an
Two-Face?
autographed poster from the team right here. Right over there.
Oh, my God.
Really?
Come on over here. There'll be a signed poster for you. Go ahead.
Howdy, I am Matthew from Missouri. Now, I had long heard that Burt Ward was a bit of a braggart on the set, especially regarding a certain part of his anatomy.
Did you say humongous?
Yeah.
And did that directly inspire the line about the pool balls?
Tell us more about it. What did you brag about? What were you? I don't understand what he was referring to.
Well, read my book. But I I did not write any of these lines, okay? Mr. Tucker here, Mr. Jelnick, they wrote the lines. Now, their research, I don't know what they did. That's pretty wild at Warner Brothers.
Was the research accurate?
Well,
It's Sunday morning, please.
All right, we're gonna move on. But because you had such humongous balls to answer my question, go get a poster. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jeremy from Stony Point, New York, and with the loss of Adam West, it's going to be felt for a long time, but are we going to see more of this? Are we going to get to see more Bert? And is there ever a chance that we're going to get to see a reboot of the Star Trek animated? And would William be willing to do voices on that?
Oh, okay, well, I don't know what the future holds 100% in terms of Warner Brothers. I've absolutely had a wonderful experience working with them. They own the rights to the character. I am looking at possibly doing a project that would involve 120 episodes of a TV series that either our company, my own company, would produce, or maybe Warner Brothers would be interested. But I leave the door open, and what's so great about the future is you really never know exactly what's going to happen. And all I can tell you is that I love this feature. I hope you did, but I love it.
Bert, did we just hear you pitch a new series? Was that a sales pitch right there?
No.
Was Warner's watching, listening and watching?
I didn't say with Warner's.
You haven't talked to Warner's yet?
Well,
are you going to go independent?
Yeah.
As for an animated...
For that one. Say he has humongous balls for that one.
Yeah, nobody said that up here because it didn't get a laugh. As for an animated series for a Star Trek, I don't know, and why not?
Why not?
Yeah, except there's 17 other versions of Star Trek out there.
Only yours count.
That's right.
Okay,
we have time for 2 more questions.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Derek from Manhattan, and I have 2 quick things. One thing, I would like to thank Burt Ward and William Shatner for the entertainment and morality, and just as a kid watching your shows, they're impressive, and I would just like to thank you for that guidance.
Thank you.
Main question. As a young adult, it got me the entertainment on that side. As a little older, I definitely watched Batman the Animated Series. What's the possibility in a Hamill-Shatner collaboration? On the Rogues Gallery.
A Hamill-Shatner collaboration?
Yeah.
In what? What do you got in mind? We'll sell it to Warner Brothers immediately. Or actually, we take a back seat to Burt.
This could be part of the first series. You want to commit?
Everything's possible. Why not a Hamill-Shatner Ward? Bang, boom, arg.
I like it. Okay, last question?
Hi, my name is Shepard. I'm from Queens. And quick comment and question. The comment is there's lots of great little details and sight gags. Obviously, lots of obsessive fanboys will be watching again and again to pick up on them. Hopefully everyone else picked up that the last fight scene was in Lorenzo's oil factory.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
I didn't pick that up.
And the question to Mr. William Shatner, what are the chances that you would branch out and work on other anime projects in the near future?
We could sell that to Warner Brothers too. Absolutely. Animated features are wonderful.
I need Robin in the yellow cape.
It's Batman.
And I need Batman right here. You guys go over there and get posters too, because you showed up to represent Thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you